Welcome back, and I have a very special treat today. We are reading It Only Moves When I Take a Shower by Hypnocast. I'm very excited. They are actually in the stream right now, the amazing author, and I am so nervous. I'm like shaking. I'm a little sweaty, and I haven't even started reading yet. So we're going to get into this. As always, please drop a follow. Please check me out on all major streaming platforms. And grab a cozy seat. Grab some tea. Without further ado, it only moves when I shower. I keep hearing things in my shower, and I think I'm going crazy. For some context, I live in a tiny, rundown apartment building. Strange noises are just part of the experience. Floors creak for no reason, and the walls pop whenever temperature changes. And every winter, the pipes scream like there's someone dragging furniture through them at 3 in the morning. After a while, you just stop questioning it. That's why I ignored it the first time. Immediately, I'm living in my own apartment building that's just like that right now. Post-communist era building. I'm hearing sounds all the time, so I'm a little bit unsettled already. When I was in the shower, the warm water relaxing my muscles after a hard day of work, when, through the hissing of the shower head, I heard a noise. The long creak of metal on metal. It sounded exactly like my front door opening. I froze. If this was happening to me, oh no, said Master Sora. Me too. Maybe one of my neighbors had come home, and the walls here were thin enough that I could usually tell when someone walked into one of the neighboring flats. Then I heard another strange sound. A slow pitter-patter of what sounded like bare feet. They were slow and methodical. Shutting off the water, I called out, "Hello?" Nothing. Not a footstep, not a creak, not even the settling groan of the building. Feeling a little ridiculous, I stepped out and wrapped the towel around myself. If someone had really come in, I wasn't about to stay in the shower. I dried off as quickly as I could, pulled on a pair of sweats and a t-shirt, and cautiously made my way around into the apartment. It was empty. Okay, how I'm feeling about this so far. I have pretty complex PTSD from how I got into the industry. Every day when I'm going to bed, I literally have that exact same feeling of like the freezing of laying in my bed, hyper analyzing every single sound. That's kind of why I got into making mommy ASMR, because if I don't have something playing on in the background, I am convinced there's someone in my apartment. Because unfortunately that did happen to me in real life. There was somebody in my house when there should not have been. And that has scarred me. So this already is top 10. I'm freaking out. Maybe this isn't good for my mental health to read, but we're going to keep going because this is really exciting and really fun. This is already building such suspense for me. I hope you guys are liking this because I'm freaked out. Whew. And I've talked about that publicly just to wrap it up because people might not have context. I had a really bad stalker case back in Utah. It's why I moved around so much. Police were involved. Everything's all good now. I'm totally safe. But experiences like that really, mess you up. You have to find coping mechanisms. So I hope our protagonist can start listening to mommy ASMR that might help them. Welcome back, Lunar Equity Gaming. What you've missed so far is our protagonist is in an old-style creepy apartment, and he hears someone come into his house as he's in the shower. I'm assuming it's a guy. Turns off the water, steps out, and he's not seeing anybody. So we're going to keep reading. It was empty. I checked out the living room first, half expecting to see the intruder sitting on my couch. The kitchen was empty, and so too was the bedroom. I even looked in places that wouldn't make much sense. Under my bed and in the closet, I even checked the bathroom again. The place was completely empty. It was the same story with the front door. The deadbolt was in place and the chain kept tight. There was absolutely no way anyone could have gotten in. I stood there for a second staring at it. If someone had come in, They certainly wouldn't have left through the front door. I was about to chalk the whole thing up to the building's terrible acoustics when something caught my eye. A little ceramic bowl on the entryway table was sitting on the floor, just resting its side against the wall. I frowned for a second before picking it up and putting it back where it belonged, on the coffee table where it usually held my keys. The bowl had been there ever since I moved in. Beige, chipped around the rim, ugly enough that I never bothered using it, but not ugly enough to throw away. I figured the previous tenant had forgotten it. It's not even funny because I literally have an ugly bowl like that where I put my keys every day. I'm so scared. Guess the ghost came back for his bowl, I muttered to myself. I smiled, though looking back, I wish I'd taken that joke a little more seriously. I checked the windows next. Every one of them was shut, the little latches still in place. There wasn't a scratch on the frames. Eventually, I just laughed, more out of embarrassment than anything else. I'd worked a 10-hour shift, skipped lunch, jumped straight into a hot shower the second I got home. I was tired. The building was old. The walls... Whoa, don't know what just happened there. Sorry about that, guys. It just said OBS disconnected. I'm not sure why. We're going to keep reading. The explanation made enough sense that I had forgotten about it until the next night. We're good now, yeah, right? Weird. The routine was the same. Get home, throw my keys and my bag into the couch, go straight into the shower. After letting the water warm up, I stepped in, letting the heat soothe my aching arms and legs. And for a few glorious minutes, it was nice and peaceful. Until a familiar sound broke the silence. The slow groan of metal on my front door. I closed my eyes and sighed. Nope. I am not going out there. Maybe I hoped whatever was out there had heard me. This is hitting a little close to home. A second later came the footsteps. Faster this time, moving from the front door into the kitchen area. One step, then another, then another. I don't know why, but I reached for the faucet and shut off the stream of water. The moment I did so, silence. No fading sounds, no retreating footsteps, just nothing. I waited. 30 seconds stretched into a minute, which stretched into 5. I stepped out, dried myself off, got dressed, and then proceeded to search every nook and cranny of the apartment. Empty. Everything was exactly as I left it, except for the bowl. It sat in the middle of the hallway now, several feet from where its home on the coffee table was. I really need more sleep, I muttered to myself. Master Sora just said, hell no. That's how I'm feeling about this, too. When I get scared, especially when I'm running on little sleep, like, nights like tonight, I haven't gone to bed yet, and it's 6 a.m. I have really bad sleep schedules. So when I'm really tired, I am, extra paranoid. I can feel, the itchiness of a sweater. If I'm wearing makeup and it's bugging me, I have to take it off immediately. So being kind of in the shoes of the protagonist, if that was me, I'm laying in my apartment in a foreign country, I'm, showering, and I hear something, and then something's out of place, I think I would shit my pants. I think I would shit my pants, legitly. There's the only solstice I have, I can't say that word, is that nothing moves in my apartment. I know for a fact whenever I hear a noise, I can come out, because I do come out and I check my apartment. Nothing's ever out of place. So if something was moved, I think I'd have the same reaction. The first time I think I'd be like, okay, I'm going crazy, I'm tired. The second time, I'd grab a knife. And I don't know if I'd stay at the house. I think I'd get in a hotel for the night. What's the point that you would check out? Anyone in chat? What At what point is this happening to you? Is this scary enough yet that you're like, I'm out of here. I'm done. We're moving immediately, expeditiously. I'm out of here. Because right now, I'm still kind of like, if I was the protagonist, I'd still be living there. I'm not moving yet. But I'm also not scared. I really need more sleep, I muttered to myself. I picked up the bowl and put it back on the table. Ironically, I barely slept at all that night. Yeah, no shit, me either, girl. I could rationalize the sound of the front door opening or the footsteps, but there was no explanation for the bowl. Nothing I came up with was convincing enough to explain how it had happened, how it had ended up in the hallway. By morning, though, I'd almost talked myself out of it. Maybe I'd kicked it without noticing. Maybe I'd moved it while cleaning days earlier and only just thought about it, and only thought it had been Maybe I'd moved it while cleaning days earlier and only thought it had always been by the door. Memory is weird like that. Even so, something about the whole thing kept nagging at me. Not enough to make me think my apartment was haunted, but enough that I wanted to prove to myself I was right. So after work that evening, I decided to run a little experiment. I went to the bathroom, turned the tap on full force, and left. I hid in my bedroom, hoping that whatever might be invading would show itself. Oh my god, this is such a bad idea. Why would you do this? I waited. 1 minute. 2. 3. Nothing. No creaking metal, no footsteps, no doors opening. Just the sound of the water hitting porcelain. See? You're just fucking crazy, I told myself. I felt ridiculous for even entertaining the idea that something was wrong. Smiling to myself, I reached the bathroom and shut the water off. That little experiment settled everything in my mind. The experiment should have settled everything. But it didn't. The next day, I stayed out late finishing paperwork I'd been putting off all week. By the time I clocked out, it was already 20 minutes late for a date. I'd been looking forward to it all week. The last thing I wanted to do was be standing in my bathroom, wondering if the apartment had just developed a personality. I threw my bag onto the couch, peeled off my work clothes, and jumped into the shower. I didn't even think about the experiment. Not until I heard it. The front door, the slow groan of metal, then the footsteps, bare feet. One after another, I swore under my breath. Not tonight. I reached over and shut off the water. Silence. My phone buzzed on the counter, making me jump. Against every instinct telling me not to look away, I turned and grabbed it. Running late? Everything okay? It shouldn't have taken more than 2 seconds to read the messages. I quickly typed out, "Sorry, be there soon," and slipped my phone back onto the counter. When I looked up, the bathroom door had opened. Holy shit! No. I'm not playing like this. Oh, hell no. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. Master Sora just said, nope. That's how I'm feeling. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. You turn away for 1 second. I literally can feel chills down my spine. Ugh. It wasn't wide. Maybe 3 or 4 inches. But I knew it hadn't been like that before. I stared at the narrow gap, trying to convince myself I'd simply forgotten to close it all the way. The apartment was old. The hinges were uneven. Doors drifted sometimes, didn't they? Not like that, brother. Get the fuck out. Oh my gosh. The hallway beyond was still lit by the lamp from my living room. I remember staring at that sliver of warm light, waiting for, I don't know what, for the door to move again, maybe? Instead, something shifted just beyond the crack. It was only there for a flicker of movement. Pale, thin, and gone before I could focus on it. Then I heard the unmistakable snap of a switch. Click. The hallway light went out, and darkness swallowed up the gap beneath my door. For a moment, all I could hear was the steady hiss of the shower. My hand found the faucet almost on instinct, and I twisted it shut. Silence. The bathroom door was again closed. The rest of the night felt almost normal. Wait, hold up. You're telling me that you saw something? You're telling me that you heard somebody in your apartment or some creature and you didn't just fucking stay in the bathroom? I'd be living there now. I would call the date and be like, hey, I know this is really awkward. Maybe it's like our second date or something, but will you come over to my house? I'm really scared. I would be calling the police. What do you mean the night felt normal? What are you doing? Oh my god. No. The rest of the night felt almost normal. My date noticed I was quiet, but I blamed it on work. He didn't push. We ended up going back to his place after dinner. Something I probably would have been excited about any other night. Master Sora just said, nah, at that point I would leave. Oh my god. I cannot imagine trying to get ready for a date. He just said it's his date, so either this is a gay person, love that, or it's a girl. I'm just assuming our character is a man because I always think characters are men, I don't know why. But if I'm getting ready for a date, like I'm putting on makeup, I'm shaving my legs, I'm getting ready, I genuinely think I'd have to cancel the date at that point. Oh my gosh. I tried not to think about my apartment, about the bathroom, and the door. Eventually I fell asleep there. Fully dressed, curled on the edge of his bed, he scrolled something on his phone beside me. At some point, he turned the lamp off. I remember thinking I should get up, go home, sleep in my own bed. But I couldn't bring myself to face another night in that place. That's fair. When I woke up the next morning, sunlight was already cutting through the blinds. For a few seconds, everything felt normal. Until I remembered where I was. My phone was dead on the floor beside the bed. My date was still asleep, breathing slow and steady beside me. I sat up carefully, trying not to wake him, trying to piece together the night before. For a moment, I almost convinced myself that everything bad that happened in my apartment was just stress. A lack of sleep, a bad week. Then I saw it. An object on the nightstand beside the bed. A small ceramic bowl. Beige, chipped along the rim, resting perfectly upright in the morning light. And that is the end of this story. Oh my freaking gosh. Okay, as normal, I'm going to give my thoughts and we're going to list 5 positive things that I really loved about this story. No way, you came back on. Yes, I did. We just read through about a 30-minute story. It was amazing. I'm so sad you missed it. Let me give you the synopsis. Actually, if you just want to go check out the author, I think that'd be amazing. This is on r/scary stories by, I'm going to spell out the username. It's HYPN, then 0, KAST, and it's called It Only Moves When I Take a Shower. Great story. Toss that bowl into trash. For freaking real. Okay, here are my thoughts. As somebody with a pretty bad case of PTSD from an in real life stalker, I would almost feel consoled by the fact that it's like a paranormal thing. At least, because unfortunately, there's really not a lot that police can do about a stalker. The advice I literally got was start carrying a pew-pew. Learn how to carry and get a concealed carry permit. That was really scary for me. But I feel like if this was something paranormal, I would almost be comforted because it's okay, If it's a person, that's a little scarier for me. So I kind of like that it's like a paranormal aspect. I think that was really fun. Because if I was in that position, I don't even know what I would do. Like, what do you do after that? You call up Ghostbusters or something? Like Sora said, throw that bull in the trash, but it's probably going to come back. God, that's scary. So honestly, I think the writing was amazing. The build-up was so fun. It wasn't a long story, because we've read stories that were 6 parts, thousands of words. This gave the payoff was perfect. It packed a punch. It didn't go too much into the character development, but I really feel like you could feel like you're in that situation. So I think it was a 10 out of 10. The 5 things that I really liked were the story pacing. It was enjoyable. It wasn't too long, but it was just enough to really hit. I really enjoyed the setting. Describing the old apartment, kind of the feeling, it really put you in that situation. One thing I really liked was how the author kind of went into describing the normal patterns of kind of shaking things off. Because I feel like we all do that. When something is happening and it's kind of fucked up, I do feel like a lot of the time you can kind of, I don't know how to say, like, you can kind of justify things. Like how he was like, oh, well, it's probably the neighbors, the walls are thin, the pipes are old, the doors, you can hear my neighbors come home. Because I've put myself in that situation before too. So it's really crazy. The 4th thing I liked was the fact that there wasn't a clear resolution. Just when you thought things were okay, the ceramic bowl is at the partner's house. That was crazy. I don't know, like, I'm not very smart when it comes to, like, literary practices, but there's something about when you feel like I guess it's a plot twist, or maybe it's irony. I don't really know what it's called, but when you think you're finally safe, and then it hits you out of the unexpected, if anyone knows what that is. Oh, sorry, I'm just ranting on. And we have actually the author in the chat. I'm so grateful. He said, I'm pretty proud of that one. I'm glad it scared you. Thank you. Your writing is fantastic. I guess for the last, I'll say one more good thing, and then I'll add another thing. I think, honestly, the writing was perfect. It was really, really well done. I stuttered a few times just because I'm kind of getting into reading out loud. But sometimes there are stories that I kind of have, sometimes it doesn't flow very well trying to narrate it. So this one was awesome. And I guess the 6th thing is thank you for watching. It means the world to me, and thank you for recommending the story. I'm going to basically clip this and then post it on my platforms. Of course, I will absolutely tag you and credit you. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much. I can already see the thumbnail now. I do all of my thumbnails on Canva. I'm totally going to take a picture of me in my shower and just, like, have my hand on the faucet looking dead at the camera. I feel like this is, like, oh, I love it so much. We need to get Sam and Dean from Supernatural to investigate this bowl. They'd figure it out somehow. Yeah, for real. I feel like if Sam and Dean were in this situation, I can already see Dean being like, it's just a freaking bowl, Sam. And Sam was like, Dean, no. I don't know. I feel like this has to be something like it's a cursed object, but it's just so funny. It's such a good way to, like, introduce the bowl like the previous tenants have left it. Because, I'll go show you the bowl that I actually use. Let me go grab it and show you guys. Because I wasn't joking. I have a bowl just like that where I put all of my keys and stuff. I'm not going to show my keys because they have my address on it. And I don't want another stalker. But this was a candle left by the previous tenants. And I thought it was aesthetic and kind of fancy. I'm like, wow, this was probably $20. So I cleaned it out. I melted out everything. Using warm water, and I store, like, my favorite lip products and my keys. I can imagine, like, I'd be so scared if this was cursed. For real. Ooh, it does look nice. Thank you. I love doing little crafty things like reusing candles as pots. I'm gonna go put this back, and any last minute thoughts, put them in chat while I'm gone. I'll be right back. overall, this was fantastic. Thank you for letting me read your story. Thank you for submitting it. I am so obsessed, and if you ever want me to narrate something in the future, if you have more works, I do have, I take requests all the time. I would love to read more of your stuff. You're a great writer. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was really fun. And if you'd ever like your own stuff to be submitted, anybody else, whether you're listening to this kind of playback or you're in chat, I have a Discord server you can submit things. And one day if we get big enough on this channel, I'll make an email where you can submit stories. Maybe even we'll make our own subreddit one day. I don't know. Call back to this in 5 years. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm going to pull up another story. I'm going to try to see what other authors have wanted me to read. And I'm going to edit this and post it up. So thank you so much for watching. I feel like I need an outro line now that this is kind of official. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye. No, you know what my outro has to be? It's going to be, okay, bye. Okay, bye.